I'm going to attempt to explain confidence intervals. These things they have some subtleties, which I think is best explained through a series of pictures. But just starting with a little bit of mathematics. Essentially, the confidence interval idea begins with a probability statement. So in this case, I'm thinking about a population mean mu. I've got a point estimate x bar, the sample mean, that is being drawn from a normal population. And I can write down a probability statement for the sample mean x bar. The sample mean is the random variable, and the probability that I draw a sample mean from this distribution between these two extremes, mu minus 1.96 times the standard error and mu plus 1.96 times the standard error, that's a 95% probability. And essentially that's a prediction interval for the sample mean. Obviously the confidence intervals, we flip the focus and we're trying to find a likely range for the population parameter mu. And so let me change to this image, and what I'm doing is I'm identifying where the sample mean is, and excuse my lack of nice mathematical symbols, but my sample mean is lying at this value here, and I'm putting on top of it a distribution, a normal distribution, and I'm indicating the 95% probability sitting between these two limits with 2.5% out at either end. And what I'm going to contemplate is sliding this distribution along the x-axis and identifying which values of mu would give me that particular observed x bar as a likely value. So let me start doing that. Solid black line at the sample mean, and I've slid the distribution slightly to the right, and I'm identifying the mean of that distribution. So that's mu. And mu, of course, the mean of the normal is also the median and also the mode, so it's the high point of the probability curve. And imagine me sliding that distribution along, and as I do so, I trace, I've got all these values of mu in between the solid black line at the sample mean and this indicated value of mu. So I've slid it along. And the thing that I want you to notice is that the solid black line is in between these two limits. Okay, so the sample mean sits within these two limits. So if we have a population mean equal to any of those green values, then this sample mean here falls within that likely range. If I slide it even further to the right, I can see that the sample mean here still sits in this likely range. A bit further to the right, and again we've included more values of mu, but I can see that the sample mean is now getting pretty close to the edge of that 95% confidence band. Here I'm at the limit, so this mu here is still giving me x bar as a likely value, but it's only just, so it's right on the limit. And when I go a little bit further, I can now see that short vertical line making clear that the sample mean here is now no longer in that middle 95%. And the values of mu for which that's been the case are these ones that I've shaded in red. Okay, so I've pushed the curve too far to the right, and now the sample mean is no longer likely to come from a distribution with those red means. If I keep shifting it to the right, again I'm outside of that middle 95%, and I'm tracing out more and more means that aren't likely to give me the sample mean I've observed. Okay, so I can keep going to the right, and obviously I just get more and more means of that nature. Sticking my curve back at the sort of original position, so here the mean and the population mean and the sample mean coincide, and now I'm going to slide it to the left. So I do the same thing. I notice as I slide it to the left, my sample mean in the solid black line sitting within the 95% range. Slide it to the left even more, and now I'm getting close to that threshold point. There I am exactly at the threshold point, so this population mean is still likely to give me the sample mean. When I go a little bit further, now I start to see my sample mean sitting in the extreme 2.5%, and so these means are not likely to give me that sample mean. Pushing it further to the left, I'm now just tracing out more and more means that for which X bar is in this tail area. So go all the way to the left, and what I've done is I've identified two extreme normal distributions. This one here that I'm tracing out, that is the distribution with the largest mean. So I'm here labeling it μL. It's the largest mean for which this sample mean sits within that middle 95%. The distribution that I've drawn here on the left, that is the smallest mean, that has the smallest mean, such that this sample mean is in that middle 95%. And every value of mu in between those two numbers would give me a central 95% probability, which includes the sample mean that I've observed. So that green range is my confidence interval. That is the likely range for mu given my observed sample mean. The red range are unlikely values for mu. This red range down here are unlikely values for mu. Now, hopefully this has helped you see that when we have a confidence interval, we don't have a single normal curve. So we're not simply replacing mu by X bar in that original probability statement here. Remember, the sample mean is the random variable, not the population mean. So there's never a single curve sitting in the background with a mean of X bar and 95% probability. Rather, a confidence interval is a diagram where there's a continuum of normal distributions sitting behind the scenes, and we've traced out the likely range for mu.